Hello, greetings and welcome to She Summit. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Alison? I think you're muted. Please unmute your mic. I cannot hear you, but can you hear me well? Please check your mic and try to unmute. Okay. Your mic is still muted. Just down, a bit down.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I can.
It was a setting. I apologize. Okay,
Oh,
good morning.
greetings to you and welcome to She Summit. I'm still embracing and recovering from that wonderful panel section that just finished. Welcome to the Fireside Chat. My name is Salvation Chigereoka. I am a product operations manager, and also I'll be the host for this Fireside Chat. I'd like for you to briefly introduce yourself, tell us where you're joining in from, and why you're here at She Summit.
Okay. Hi, thank you so much. I love that last panel. I'm Alison Morano. I am the founder of the Metaverse Chamber of Commerce, along with some other worlds and projects that I do in the Metaverse. I'm in Florida right now, and I'm just very happy to be here. And I always love these GatherVerse summits and events, and just to be able to discuss these very important, really important topics. So thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome, Alison. It's a pleasure to have you join us for the Fireside Chat. Before we step into the questions, I'd love for you to help us ground the conversation. Many people hear terms like immersive technology, XR, and the metaverse, but sometimes it can feel technical. So, off the book, in a brief definition, could you please help our audience and myself understand what immersive technology, XR, and what the metaverse are?
Okay, I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, I'm just saying the word immersive technology, XR, and the metaverse can sound a bit technical. So I'd like for you to just briefly uncover, tell us what it is.
Oh, okay. So the metaverse is a number of immersive worlds, they call it. You hear different terms, metaverse comes and goes, but you can think about it as spatial technology, which is really a world you can walk into and interact. It can be social, it can be business, but it's a way to take yourself from your own local area that you might be in, whether you're home or you're in your office, and immerse yourself into a different environment. And the idea is to really feel as though you're present and feel as though you're interacting in an environment that you have stepped into. And you can meet people and you can conduct business, or you can just hang out, but you really feel present and you really feel as though you've walked into another reality, which is where virtual reality comes from.
Thank you. Thank you for helping to demystify that for us. When we talk about the women of the future and connected realities, we're referring to women around the world who are creating and building and collaborating across disciplines, across geographics, across culture. And now we're trying to narrow down to immersive technology. How does participation by diverse women redefine what the metaverse can be?
So yeah, I really love that, discussing that. I do believe that participation from diverse women helps everything. It's not even limited to the metaverse. You should always have diversity. We always need to reflect the world. And when you're in the metaverse, people are there from everywhere. You're not local. It's not somewhere that people will come because they are able to physically travel there. They can come in from all over the world, all different times. And the diversity is so important. And of course, we always need women represented everywhere we go, and we should be aware of that. The diversity helps us build better worlds, better interactive experiences, and have a better time where we are, so that we can learn from each other. And the more diverse the environment and the more diverse the participants, the more we grow and the better time that we have.
I totally agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Speaking of, you made mention of more women getting involved, and this will also relate to adoption. So I want to add to that. How does designing the metaverse for real world adoption differ from proof of concept or novelty experiences? How does it differ?
So I think that what we have to remember with the metaverse and these experiences that we are building is that they
Mhm.
are for real world adoption. We want people to use them. We want them to come in right away and use these worlds that we build. I know that people in my own network or my own sphere of social interactions and people that I speak to and build with, we want these worlds used right away. So it's not so much about building the proof of concept or something like that. Can it happen? Is this possible? Let me show you what my idea is. You can
Please.
build it immediately. We have the tools right now. And the
Mhm.
real world adoption will tell us by inviting others in from the real world, can they use this? Can you move from here to there? Is this something that's helpful for you? And
Mm.
it's kind of like the internet, where if something doesn't work so great, you can change it and fix it. And if you jump right into real world adoption, people will let you know, I love this. Maybe I won't come back to this, but I will come back to this world and I will bring other people to this world. So you jump right into the real world adoption and you ask them, come join me. And you'll learn right away, for whatever your environment is, how to make it better or keep it the same.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. As a product manager, I also believe adoption proves the usability of a product. So I
and,
agree with
and
you on that.
and the word adoption, real fast, is important because we do want people to take to this technology and adopt it and use it, as though it's an extension of their everyday world. And it's important that we do that right away.
Right, right. I agree with you. Let's talk about policy frameworks.
Mhm.
How do policy frameworks enable ethical scaling of immersive technology globally, and how can that be achieved?
So I have a very strong background in policy. I've
Mhm.
been in policy building and policy writing for several years, and it's always good to have a framework. You need to have guardrails. We need to know what is acceptable, what is disturbing, maybe, and have a certain, the stakeholders and the builders and the creators and funders of building these worlds should have a set of guidelines that they follow. It's important that we have ethical guidelines. It's important that we make sure there are no biases. We're a good example to follow right now is AI. There is a big struggle going for what type of guidelines should be there, what sort of ethical governance or framework should exist in AI. And I believe it adopts itself very well to this other technology. I think that they're hand in hand. If we do it from the beginning, then a big part of going in to the metaverse sometimes is there could be different types of abuse, is the only way to say it. And I was really proud of Meta because they addressed that immediately, and they had reporting systems in place. But if we have it in a policy framework, people will have a place to start. There's a group called the Metaverse Standards Forum, and they are working on this because it should be global. And I understand different cultures and different countries and different areas may have a different idea of their type of policy, but there's an overarching guideline that I think we can follow locally as well as globally. So you always are aware of different guidelines mean different things to different people and different cultures and
Yeah,
different countries and different governments. But we
right.
need an overarching framework that we can guide so that this doesn't become a negative experience, but a positive one right from the start.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. I'm happy that you mentioned people who are more concerned on making sure the frameworks are being put in place because it's very important. With the speed of technology and AI, we really need policies to guide usability. That will bring me to back to the women part of the conversation where we're having. I really love the last panel. that talks more about leadership and women getting into roles of leadership. And how do you see visibility of women in technical roles? How do you think it can influence the next generation of innovators?
I think visibility is extremely important,
Mm-hmm.
especially for the next generation. We
Yeah.
still need to show the world and show ourselves and show other women that we can do this. I go back also in technology, and I'm still seeing studies that say that younger women and girls still hang back when they're in a gender, when they're outnumbered, or there may be more men than women, or other genders, or whatever it may be. We all need to be represented. And I think that women being visible about what they're doing, I encourage. So with the Metaverse Chamber of Commerce and other interests I have, like XR Women, who are doing a lot of GatherVerse this week, and I'm very excited about that, which is why I wear my XR Women purple color.
Lovely. I didn't get to see the full
Yeah,
version of
we
that.
always encourage the visibility, and I'm always telling our members, what you're doing online for yourself, if you're creating, even if you're doing it on your own, tell everybody about it.
Mhm.
Women should know that other women are doing this, and we're building together and building across the board with everybody. But we need to be all represented, and it all just goes across that line. I always see these new techs, whatever it is, when it was the internet, when it's AI, when it's games, when it's the metaverse, I see them as level playing fields. And if everybody steps forward and says they're doing it, no matter who they are, then you see the diversity of the participation, and everybody is encouraged. I can do that. If they can do that,
Mhm.
I can do that. And that's
Yes.
so important. And we should do it here too. We should do it everywhere. And unfortunately, it's still needed. Women still need to encourage each other to take that step. We really,
All right.
really. So we need to be very visible.
Thank you very much, Alison, for joining us and sharing those amazing insights. Kada was well. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much for this. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.